agents sell a few houses and the head gets so big,
Man,
so fast.
oh my God. And I definitely want to say this, especially fellas. Shut up and communicate.
You're listening to Real, Raw, and Real Estate, where love meets legacy, faith fuels the hustle, and we turn real estate into real impact.
And we're your hosts, Daryl and Tanisha Williams, husband and wife, power couple, building generational wealth, one deal and one deep convo at a time.
Let's talk faith, strategy, and the truth behind the journey.
Let's get into it.
800 million in sales in just 6 years. You know, for me, I've even been telling our agents lately, you know, I'm like, a lot of people feel like that's a big number, but I know that we could do so much more.
Absolutely.
I think about when Elite first started, right? What's really the story behind Elite? I never wanted to start a brokerage. I really want to start there. I was at a different brokerage, a small boutique brokerage before Elite started.
True.
And I got fired.
Yeah.
I got fired from the brokerage. I don't think that normally happens, but I did, right? The broker and I, we had a disagreement, right? And if anybody knows me, you know that I'm an integral person, but I may not be a pushover, so to speak. So we had a disagreement, not a story for the podcast, and I got fired.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I did not, what?
I thought it was real wrong real estate. I'm just saying, I don't know, but it's all good. Listen.
We might just have to say that for another day.
Okay, which episode? Let the people know. Which episode?
Stay tuned
Ooh,
to
stay
find
tuned.
out how
Get
and why
juicy.
I got fired
Lord
from the
Jesus.
brokerage before we started Elite Realty Partners.
Okay, cool.
But I remember starting Elite, and prior to us literally opening the firm, I was so nervous and I was so scared. I had already sold probably close to 100 properties, but I was
True.
still nervous and scared because I wanted to be the best broker that I could be for any agent that I served, and I didn't know if I could do it. I remember calling up my coach. I was at a Starbucks,
Yes.
and I had a coach at the time. And I said, with tears in my eyes, I said, Coach, do you really think that I could do this?
Mm-hmm.
And he said to me, a coach out of California, he said, Tanisha, it doesn't matter what I think. What do you think? He said, as you go on this journey, becoming a broker at Elite, I want you to think back to when you were 16 years old and you had your daughter and you were determined to beat the odds and you were determined to show other teenage mothers that they can do it just like you can do it. He said, I want you to be that mama bear, that same mama bear that you were to your daughter, to each and every agent. And when I tell you, I hung on to those words for years and years, and even to this day, because that's how I look at the agents. Like, I look at them as not my children, as so to speak, where I'm the parent, but that care and concern that you have for your children, which is why when they don't do what you want them to do, right? Because you want so much more for them, because I want them to be great, it hurts all the more.
You kind of take it personal.
Yeah.
Not kind of take it personal.
You take it
personal.
Yeah. So when it comes to scaling, let's talk about it, because now we're here. And a lot of people want to know, how do you scale in business? You know, at this point with the pandemic, so many people became real estate agents, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Everybody.
everywhere you turn, there's a real estate agent.
Everybody's selling houses, right?
But
Nah.
last year, over 70% of real estate agents did not even sell one property.
Exactly.
So how do you scale? Just you considering that you're the CFO of Elite Realty Partners, right? Not necessarily selling real estate the traditional way, because then you're a real estate investor after that. What would you say the most common mistake agents are making, just looking from the outside?
Just looking from the outside, or in actuality, I can't even say the outside, because we definitely got
inside, outside.
We got inside, outside. I think it's the consistency. I think, especially being that a lot of the newer agents came in during the pandemic, some of those that had their license before the pandemic, but specifically the newer agents, it was popping. Meaning everybody looked like they were selling homes at that time. And in actuality, the market was going crazy. So there were a lot of homes sold. So people got intrigued and saw I'm assuming, saw the money and saw the glamour and the glitz, not realizing that was only for a short period of time. If you want to sustain there, you need to pay attention to what's going on, not just at that particular moment, but engulf yourself with the trade. Get familiar with real estate.
Yeah,
Be consistent at it.
Actually know the market.
Exactly.
Right? What's the difference between a buyer's market and a seller's market, right? A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people aren't taking the time to, one thing that I tell agents all the time is the more you learn, the more you earn. I am a lifetime student. It doesn't matter how many houses I've sold. It doesn't matter how many agents I have. I want to always position myself to constantly be learning. And I think that oftentimes agents sell a few houses and the head gets so big, so fast.
Oh my gosh.
And you forget that you need to be a student. You forget that you need to always be on search of finding out what could you do better. You know, I'm the type of person where I don't want to know what I did right. I want to know what I did wrong. Right? Because the biggest room is room for improvement. And how do I know how to scale my business and widen my audience if I'm not laser focused in on how I can improve and what I need to do better? Certain ways that you need to scale is social media, right? Believe it or not, there are still agents who are not making sure that they are tuned in to how they can scale on social media. Video. I remember Tom Ferry back in 16 or 17. He said, video is the new way to ensure that you are constantly getting business. I wish that I would have listened to Tom Ferry in 2016 and ensured that I was doing real estate videos each and every day. Yeah. So if you're not on social media, you're already getting left behind.
Yeah. Listen, excuse me. I'm saying that to say this. I'm really not on social media like I should be. Mm-hmm. But I'm coming. But I'm coming, fellas. I'm coming, guys. It's real.
He says that, but
I know. Yeah.
I mean, no, here's the main thing.
Tell it. Go ahead, tell it.
He doesn't like social media because he really could care less what other people have going on. Like, he's so engulfed. I mean, I don't want to tell your own story, but
I kind of do my own. I already got 100 things going on a regular basis. I know they say, what's the saying? Success is in your routine. So I develop a routine that gets me success. But in developing that routine, I never incorporated social media or documented in that way. But I do know now that the impact I could have by letting people see what's going on. People see the wins or hear about the wins, but they never hear or see about the work.
And my main thing is, especially with Business Billionaire Society, please ensure that if you are looking for a coach, a mentor that you can relate to teach you about business, life, marriage, please get on our wait list for Business Billionaire Society.
Hold on. You said something right there. Let's talk directly about that. How did we scale our business to where we scaled it to and not sacrifice our marriage, not sacrifice our family and our sanity? Let's speak specifically to that, if you don't mind.
I mean, the truth of the matter is we did sacrifice.
We did
sacrifice. And that's really the truth. You know, one thing that I always love to say is you have to sacrifice your way to success, right? Mm-hmm. So that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice for the rest of your life, right? But the truth of the matter is the mother that I was to our first two children is simply not the mother that I am to our 9-year-old twins.
Yeah.
Right? I was a correctional officer.
Yes, you were. Little tough one, too. Tough.
I was a correctional officer with our first two children.
Right.
And being an entrepreneur with our last two, you would think that I would have more time, but really I have significantly less time. So what I have found is, number one, you have to date your children the same way you should date your spouse. Mm-hmm. I was talking to one of our agents a couple weeks ago, and now I'm so excited when I see her on social media. I just saw the other day, she was like, date night with my son. And I was so excited because I was telling her the importance of having date nights on the calendar with her son. And I don't think it's a matter of not sacrificing when it comes to scaling your business. It's knowing that there's a time and a place for everything.
Mhm.
When we vacation, we make sure that it's memorable and it counts. You know, what did the baseball coach just tell us? Just last week, and I already see you implementing it. I wanted to tell you this. Remember the baseball coach told us, I think it was last week, and he said, as soon as Daniel wants to show us something with baseball, you remember?
Oh yeah. Pay him attention. Give him that attention.
Literally, like,
Give it to
stop everything you're doing. When your child is excited to show you something, he said, the baseball coach said, stop what you're doing right then and there. Because a child's attention span is only but so long. So you have to seize that moment and give them your undivided attention. And I wanted to tell you, because not only do I see you.
Tell me slow. Tell me.
Not only do I see you doing it with the twins the other night, DeAndre, he said, Daddy, come here, come here, come here. He was yelling your name from the room. Daddy, come here. Normally, you would have said, hold on. Or normally you would have brushed it off. Not to say you brushed him off, but you were relaxing.
Yeah.
You immediately got up, went into his room. And the crazy part is, our 19-year-old son was on FaceTime with his friends and just wanted you to beat on the drum and show his friends that you know how to do it too.
Daddy got skills too. Daddy got skills too.
So I think that's so important that, yes, you're going to sacrifice your time. Yes, you're going to have to sacrifice even some time with your family, your kids, your spouse.
Yeah.
However, it's what you do in those other moments that you dedicate to your family that's important.
And I definitely want to say this, especially fellas. Shut up and communicate. Shut up and communicate. What does that mean? Especially in starting a business and scaling. I know for us, I'm speaking specifically for us, we had a plan, meaning we had a goal that we needed to get to. So the amount of hours that I put in individually and the amount of hours that you put in individually, I understood it. I know now. You said earlier you felt like a single family with a single mother at home because I was always working. But you understood what the assignment was and what was required of me. Fellas, when I say shut up and communicate with your spouse. Communicate with her. Let her know what the goal is. And if that's the goal, this is what's required of you in order for y'all to reach the goal. Because if you're really in a relationship, it ain't just your goal. It's your goals for the family. So if you're telling her one way and it's not going through, then you're not communicating properly. Right. Understand what you need to say and who you need to be in order for her to understand what you're doing.
And I think that that's really, the more we communicate, the further we scale.
Yeah, in the beginning, the communication was like, do it this way. I don't want to do it this way. I want you to do it that way. I don't want to do it that way.
Yeah.
And we butted heads in the very beginning, but we had to figure out our own rhythm.
Yeah, and the best way to scale is by getting the right coach. The best way to scale is to engulf yourself in what's like Daryl said, what's going on in the market. The best way to scale is understanding who your target audience is and speaking their language. I know how a lot of real estate agents want to sell luxury, but do you know the language, right? Some agents want to sell to investors. Do you know the language? Know the language of your target audience, and then you run with it. You know, I remember oftentimes we were burning the midnight oil. We like to call it up at night, just late night. Yeah,
till
just
the morning.
Pulling all-nighters, learning as much as we can and putting in the work. And to be honest with you, I feel like we might need to burn the midnight oil a few nights again, because there was so much that we were able to accomplish. And I know we're a little older now, so we might fall asleep trying to burn the midnight oil, but you got to sacrifice your way through it.
Absolutely. And leadership is important. You got to understand, when is it time to add team members, to build the brokerage, build team leaders. You get what I'm saying? Because if you're working, burning the midnight oil, like we say, every couple of weeks, how about you delegate certain things to other people? You can get more accomplished by bringing people on to handle smaller tasks. You always say, work your strengths and hire your weaknesses.
Yeah.
But again, in the beginning, you might have to do it all. But once you start to develop a good routine, a successful routine, a good leader understands now it may be time for me to scale. I may need to hire someone now.
Yeah. At Elite Realty Partners, I always say that no agent is an island. If you think that you can do it all, you will be burnt out very quickly. And thank God that now in 2025, there are virtual assistants to where you can hire an assistant in a cost efficient way so you can scale your business, right? Because you cannot do it alone. For example, if you are a real estate agent, you need a CRM. If you are in any sales business, you need a CRM. But working that CRM may not be your strong suit. That's not my strong suit. Most rainmakers, the people that get stuff done, are not the best at the small details, right? They bring it in. They bring the people in. They are influential. Mm-hmm. You can attract people. Yeah. But when you focus all your time on the micro things, you won't get the macro things done. I think that someone said before that creatives sometimes block themselves or restrict themselves because they are trying to do everything else but invest their time in just simply being creative. Mm-hmm. And as a creative, you want to ensure that you build the right team and hire the right people. My mom taught me, one thing she always says is, in a business that has brick and mortar, that has an office, the most important person in that office is the receptionist, is the person that greets the people when they walk in that door. Who do you have representing you? Who is saying, hey, on the behalf of Tanisha, or on the behalf of Daryl, Daryl wanted me to call you. Daryl wanted to let me know. When your customers or your clients or your audience know that you have a team, you are official.
That's a gem. That's a gem.
And that team may just consist of you and one assistant, you and maybe just a showing agent, you or maybe just a marketing person. Whoever that is your team. And when you have a solid team, the sky is the limit.
And that's leadership, honestly. Being able to identify, what you need. Yeah. I know for us, in this particular case, scaling Elite Realty Partners to 800 million, it got there by way of leadership before we got 200 million.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And it's about our agents. Shout out to every single Elite Realty partner. Elite Realty Partners would be nothing without you, which is where the name came from. Partners. Elite means a select group of people who are superior to the rest in terms of ability or skill. So when we say elite and then we have partnership, I truly look at every single agent as a partner of mine. And that's the only way we've been able to scale. We have agents that were at big name brokerages 20, 30 years our senior, and they were not selling real estate. Even some of the agents who went on to open up their brokerages, even though they did it the wrong way. Got to be honest, it's real wrong real estate, right? They were not selling real estate prior to Elite Realty Partners. But because of the coaching, because of the teaching, because of the showcasing of what a team culture and family culture looks like, they were able to scale their business and then go on into other ventures and journeys and whatever dreams that they may have.
Absolutely. So listen, book a discovery call. Find out when we're having our next training. Very, very beneficial for you.
Yeah, Elite Realty Partners is hiring right now. Business Billionaire Society has opened up our waiting list. Ensure that you contact us, get on the waiting list, contact our office, 954-990-7526. We always have agents on the waiting list, but now is the time to join a firm in Atlanta, in South Florida, in Central Florida. Now is the time to join a firm that can help you scale your business.
Real Raw Real Estate. Catch us every Sunday with new episodes, and every Tuesday, check us out on all streaming platforms.
If you are completely tuned in and enjoying these episodes, like, share, and comment.
Stand on business with your family. Stand on business with your kids. Be the example. You are important. You matter.
We are really building a real estate empire and teaching others how to do it, because our legacy is not the legacy that we create, it's the legacy that we teach other people to build for themselves.